Yo, hello everyone, and welcome back to another stream. Uh, my voice is absolutely cooked because my nose is doing weird stuff. And my gloves broke while I tried to wear them today, so streaming without gloves, my hands are pretty clean, except for my fingernails, but that's not that important. Anyways, today I did initially want to stream on the server, but the server is not running, so I'll be streaming this today. I will, however, stream again on Monday. Respectively, I will stream very early on Monday, potentially already on Sunday, and then into Monday. Which has a reason. Well, actually, I wouldn't really have to do that, because I will most likely get back home before I would have to do, before the stream streak ends. But the problem is, I have not managed to get out of military like I planned to, so now I will potentially, most likely, just get it over with and stay in military for the next half a year or 25 more weeks. And thus, I will sometimes be in military over weekends, which means I have to stream, I have to do like that little cheat, kind of. I mean, not really, because I will try to do 2 streams, or at least do a stream that goes from Sunday to Monday. The thing is, I already have my first special operation, which I think goes longer than, which I think goes like almost, no, it goes like one entire week, and it starts on this Thursday, or well, Thursday next week. So I'll be in military for an entire weekend, which I've so far never been. But I don't know. I'll just have to wear t-shirts for 2 days instead of 1 day. But I'll probably survive that. I hope, at least. I mean, like 3 weeks ago, I survived an entire 4 or 5 days with the same clothes, even the same freaking socks. But yeah. Anyways, today we'll be adding a crazy Minecraft item. I will probably still add new item groups. I don't know if I can do this in the same in like the same thing here. Item group events. Now I'll add that to whoa, where is this? What would this even be? I think the next thing I said last time that I will add is Monster Master Cologne. The problem is I need to quickly run the game and find out where exactly. I was wondering, I think, can you even see what I'm coding or not? I don't think you actually can. But does it not let the game run because of this line here? Are we dead ass? Alright, alright. Now it does. Right. Oh, these are also here. Even though splash potions are technically not drinks. Very interesting. Alright. We'll still add it to food and drinks then. That means this will not have to be added. Oh, this is all the way back. Let me add a new and we'll add it under the name of Ay. Whoa, what is this now? What types of settings are there? Oh my god. Oh my god. How are they called? Splash. Splash potion. How are they called? What is this? Wait. Hmm. Oh my god. Um. Oh my god. I have to watch some tutorials again, I think.
Let's set up Minecraft modding for what?
Right. So we'll have to do the good old split screen again. Do we have custom oceans? Ah.
Luke's
Perfect.
thoughts and plants metal. It might take a while for this potion tutorial to settle. Let's add a custom potion including a recipe to Minecraft. 121 Minecraft modding courses available down below.
Let's go.
With over 11 hours of content covering everything from the basics all the way to block entity the mobs. Alright, welcome back to Children's More, and in this tutorial we'll be adding a custom potion including a recipe to our Minecraft mod. Now, first and foremost, of course, this will require you to have added a custom effect. Whether or not it's going to be the slimy effect, that is up to you, but it needs to be a custom effect added over here. And then we're basically good to go, and adding a custom potion is super freaking simple. So in the tutorial mode package, we're going to right click new package called Ocean. Inside
We have to add a custom effect first.
there, we'll make a new Java class called the mod Potions class. Right here, we're going to have a public static void, and it's going to be the register potions method.
Oh.
Es war ein regnerischer Abend. Die Straßen waren leer.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Wait, we'll actually watch this one first.
Let's add a custom effect to our Minecraft mod. 121 Minecraft modding course is available down below, with over 11 hours of content covering everything from the basics all the way to block entities and custom mobs. Alright, I'm back at you once more. In this tutorial, we'll be adding a custom effect over here to our Minecraft mod, and you will once again find out adding the effect in and of itself fairly straightforward. Obviously, the one thing that is going to be, well, I mean, difficult in relative terms, is going to be implementing whatever kind of effect you want. In our case, we're going to implement the slimy effect, but let's just take a look. So in the tutorial mode package, we're going to right-click new package called effect. And inside there, we'll need two new Java classes. The first one is the mod effects class, and the second one is going to be the slimy effect class. There we go. I'm going to start with the
Okay.
slimy effect, because this is two new Java classes. The first one is the mod effects class, and the second one is going to be the slimy effect class. There we go. I'm going to start with the slimy effect because this is basically where we're going to implement the actual effect. Now here, what I actually first of all want to add here is just the comment over here that this is basically done with the help from Same Different here, from their climbing effect over here, basically distributed under the MIT license, so just keep that in mind. They basically help a little bit with the code over here. But basically any effect is going to extend from the setup effect class over here. We're gonna hover over this bit constructor matching super, and we're gonna choose the first.
Ah. This is status effects. Eh? What?
That in mind, they basically help a little bit with the code over here. But basically any effect is going to extend from the setup effect class over here. I'm gonna hover over this bit constructor matching super, and
Ah. Hmm.
and we're gonna choose the first one to make this public, and then we can override two methods. The first one is the apply update effect method.
What? Is it this? No. What the fuck did he write?
Override two methods. The first one is the apply update effect method.
Oh my god. There we go.
Method, and the second one is the can apply update effect method. The second one, very, very straightforward. We simply want to return a true. So that is very straightforward, actually. The apply update effect method is going to be called every tick that a specific entity, meaning this entity right here, has this particular effect applied to it. And what I want to do is when the player, because other living entities are not really going to work with this because they would have to be running like actively into a wall, and usually their AI is not laid out for that, so they're not really going to be able to take advantage of this particular effect. But the player, if they are going to, well, collide horizontally with a wall, then they're just going to be shot up just a little bit. So we're going to say if entity.horizontal collision, so if this is true, then we know that the player is colliding with the wall. We're going to get the actual current sort of vector, right? The initial vec is going to be the initial movement. So entity.getVelocity, this is the current movement vector that the entity has. Then we're going to get a climbing vector. This is basically going to be the new vector that we want to pass in. We're going to take the same x velocity. We're going to say, okay, but we're going to add a positive 0.2 into the y direction. I'm going to say take the same z as well. And then I'm going to
what the hell?
Dot set velocity, and we're going to set it to the climb vector, and then we're going to multiply this by something like 0.76 or something like that. That is going to be fine. And then we'll turn a true right here. The multiplication over here, basically dampening it down a little bit, is not strictly necessary. However, you can of course experiment with this however which way you like as well. This though is actually all of the implementation when it comes to the sliming thing. Of course, if you have a different effect in mind, that is now your sort of job to, you know, figure that out. And with Java knowledge, you should be able to get a couple of things done in here, as well as you can go into the effect class itself, take a look at some of the things that you have available.
Okay, this
here,
is
and click on this Control H. See all of the different effects.
Actually, the Raid Omen. Raid Omen, which one's the... Is this one? What the hell is the oozing effect? I've never seen that. Yo, hello, Lampus, hello. Should this even give an effect? I don't know, I could just give it a dummy effect that does literally nothing. But this is the lock effect still here. Yeah. What do you mean we? I always do. Poison oozing, I've never seen the oozing status effect ever. I think I'll just make it do absolutely nothing. I don't know if that even works.
That exists in vanilla as well. That is also a great.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. We should again. I noticed. But we should at some point stream together again. And edit videos. Sadly, I did not get out of military. So I will not have more time to edit videos than I used to. Maybe a bit more, but not that much more.
Way to, well, basically take a look at how some of those work, right? The wind charge effect, you can see we have the wither status effect. That should be very straightforward, right? It's just a damage effect.
Wait. Can I just give the entity the lock effect? Can walk on fluid. Huh. Wait. Wait. No. How? I'm in military every single day for the next 15 days. I don't even have a weekend next weekend. Okay, not the next 15 days, but the next like 13 days. Then you'll have to grind yourself or whatever, I don't know. Bruh. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. This is weird. No, this is weird.
Effect here. But yeah, that is sort of the general idea when it comes to this. And now on to registering this. So registering this is done in the mod effects class.
How can he zoom in? How does he do that? The hell?
First of all, we're gonna have a public static void register. Effects method, and here once again we're gonna pull tutorial mod
German Markiplier. Why do you mean German Markiplier?
lager.info.
Oh my god, nameless. I thought you would never spawn. You wrote me like 45 minutes ago. Or longer, I don't know. Maybe he does sound like him.
Registering mod effects for tutorial mod.mod.
I don't know. Does he?
ID, there we go, and let's just immediately pull this as well. That's going to be the mod effects over here. Register effects, awesome, and then
Why is he so fast?
register effects, awesome, and then we can get a helper method in. That's going to be a private static. This is going to be a...
That is crazy. Does he? I did not know that. Why do I not know that? That is crazy.
Entry of type status effect. Status effect.
Hmm.
This one right here, there you go. It's gonna be the register.
What? Why does it not? Huh? Oh, now it worked.
Status effect method with a string name parameter as well as a status effect parameter. Interestingly enough, we're going to return the registry, making sure we choose NetMicro registry.
Ah!
Register registries dot
Huh? Shouldn't this be gray? Okay, maybe not.
status effect
What? This is crazy. No, it's not copyrighted music. There is no copyrighted music.
and an identifier.
Okay, no, there is technically one song in there that YouTube thinks is in my playlist. But it's not. And royalty is not copyrighted.
Registry, making sure we choose NetMicro registry. Register registries dot status effect and then an identifier dot of tutorial.mod ID passing the name and then passing the status effect over here as the second one. And of course, it's not the register method, it is the register reference method. There we go. That is why that error occurred, obviously, in the code. is why that error occurred. Of course, it's not the register method, it is the register reference method. There we go. That is why that error occurred, obviously, in the code down below, which is, by the way, all of the code as always down below in the GitHub repository. So there you go. And then we have this done. We can then register the effect very straightforwardly.
Blood, how many more lines is to this?
Static final registry entry of types. Status effect, and this is going to be the slimy equal to register status. Effect, the name here is going to be slimy. And then we're going to make a new slimy effect. Passing in the status effect category of neutral. Then the color, I'm going to explain this. This is basically going to be the color for both, in theory, the potion, which we're not going to add in this tutorial, but in theory the potion, as well as the particles that spawn when you have this effect applied. We're
What?
also going to add an attribute modifier over here.
That is crazy. No idea what color this is.
Call on the constructor over here, right? So on the first closing parenthesis, add attribute modifier, we're going to modify entity attributes dot generic movement speed. We're going to say that this is going to be called, or an identifier dot of tutorial mod, and this is going to be the slimy. So this is the slimy attribute modifier. After the first closing parenthesis here, minus 0.25f, and then entity attribute modifier dot operation dot add multiplied total here in this case, and then we just need another closing parentheses over here, and of course this closing parentheses has to go, and there we go. Once everything is formatted correctly, we basically are going to have it so that when you have the slimy effect applied to your character, you're also going to get a 25% like
Uh-huh. Eh? Ah, this is not called generic anymore. Well, we could give this some random ass. What is follow range? Ooh. Yeah, no, I don't think it was very fun to watch because I'm doing some very useless, weird stuff here. Anyways, yeah, goodbye and have fun studying or whatever you were doing. Oh no, you weren't studying, it was Nameless, sorry. What is the default entity follow? Follow range. Ooh. Whoa, this is crazy. Yo, let's go. Wait, the follow range is not always the same? Can I just give... Wait, this is crazy. I could give... Whoa, this is cool. I can give this an effect that could work in a different way than it is. Basically something that is not described in the book. In the book it is just described as a cologne that smells like, I don't know, various things, like I think rotten flesh was mentioned and slime and stuff. But smell is not really a thing in Minecraft. But if I give this potion the effect of a lower follow range, that would mean that giving it to yourself would do nothing, but giving it to a mob would be like it can't follow you that well anymore. So I could just set its follow range to be 0. Thus mobs would not see you anymore. Or you could set the follow range relatively low. In this Microsoft thing here. Why does a villager have a follow range? What does it actually do? Oh, then a mob will pursue a target. Right. This is... I could just change its... Okay, if I change the value, I could do this in a very funny way. I could give it value, and value would basically, I could give it a relatively low value, which would then make, I'm just coding a mod that is adding items from a series of Minecraft books that I read years ago, that I for this sake reread at least part of them, and now I'm adding the items and stuff that is mentioned in these books. So the one funny thing here is that I'm adding a cologne, and I'm giving the cologne an effect that actually it doesn't really have an effect in books. Yes, I can read. I didn't think I would actually be reading anything in like after school. But these books are really easy to read. I mean, they're written for, I don't know, people that are a bit younger than me. Most likely, I think. I mean, it's a very easy language, so... Anyways, that doesn't matter. They have mentioned the cologne in the book. That doesn't actually do anything, obviously. They didn't really mention the effect, except for that it just smells really bad. Now, what I could do is, because it smells so bad, I could technically make monsters be more attracted. So this I do not quite get. The villager has a value, so the villager will attempt to stay in a radius of a target, while most this is weird. Most mobs have only a value, but no max. And for most mobs, value and max is the same. So value is the radius within they will attempt to stay around the target. And maximum is the maximum distance a mob will go away from a target. So a blaze will only go 48 blocks away from a target. but it will attempt to stay within 48 blocks. Isn't that exactly the same thing? That is the thing. I can't really make it run away. I could make the mobs passive if I basically remove their... but that would be more difficult. Can I add... Can I add... Can... or... I could make it... is... What is trusting? What? Okay, this would mean the mob that has... oh, this is weird. Well, this is so weird. Oh, this is so weird. I could make it oh my god, there. This is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect. I could give everything that comes within a range of me get a specific effect. That would be pretty cool. Or everything that gets within range of another mob that has the potion applied. Obviously this will not be a drinkable potion, it will only be... or should I make it drinkable? The drinkable will not make much sense, because you don't drink perfumes and stuff. But I could make that they start taking some sort of effect, for example nausea. So if I can add, can I add just... oh, I cannot add it. Why can I not add that? Movement speed and all that works. It's a component. What is movement speed? Movement speed doesn't even exist. What? Then what the hell is follow range, and why does follow range even exist? It does, but why does mob effects not exist? More. Ah, this is stupid. Temp range. What is temp range? Temp range doesn't exist. Temp range. Maybe that's similar? Oh, this is so weird. What is suspect tracking? What the hell? Suspicious locations? Things like that exist? Oh my god. Can I insomnia? That doesn't work either. All entity attributes. Oh, these are Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Ah, of course. It's just Bedrock Edition. But then, what did I find there before? The temp range. Minecraft temp range. Wow, this is weird. Can I see all Minecraft entity attributes? Attributes. What is camera distance? Okay, this is interesting. Entity interaction range. The interaction is plain and blocked. The credit phone. Okay, jump strength, knockback resistance, a lock. So the lock I did, this doesn't exist actually. It does. We could just give it that. What the hell? Oh, these are, some of these are crazy, but the, what am I, lock? The lock thing. Default is 0, so I could give it like, just like a thingy of like 500. But I don't really know how the lock. Entity attributes lock. How does the lock? Lock. Data values. Basically, I'd add a lock potion to survival. This is really interesting. What? How do I add? How do I use the lock? How do I use that? Where's the generic lock? Generic lock. But how he did it with generic movement speed. Generic movement speed. Right, then I Identifier off. Huh? I don't really get this. Wait, can I see how the potion of luck were? Not really. Probably. Potion. Or is it just luck? Luck potion. I mean, I have to add it away. To fire off minus mod dot mod ID under clone. This has to be a path. This is amount. This has. I'll just give this 300. Okay, then we'll just add entity attribute modifier dot operation dot add multiply total. Do I have to add it as 300? Don't even know. We'll just see.
Increase in movement speed. I feel like that makes a lot of sense when you're slimy, right? But of course, for this, you actually get to climb walls, which I think it's a pretty good trade-off. We're not done quite just yet though, because we need to go to the assets. First of all, for a translation, and then lastly for a texture. Now the translation is super simple. Effect.
Right.
Tutorial mode.
I don't know if the cologne makes a lot of sense yet.
Slimy, obviously the name here being whatever name you've given it right here. That should be, I mean, at this point, this is basically all old news, right? It's almost always the same. And then when it comes to the texture, that goes under the textures folder, right click new directory, hold mob underscore effect. And so they will add the slimy PNG, which is going to be available to you as
under textures. We have to add a new freaking directory. Mob effect. Okay.
well. Now, one thing that's really weird for mob effect is the sizes of textures. They are 18 by 18. I
What?
don't know why that is the case. For some reason, all of the different textures for each of the different effects is 18 by 18. So keep that in mind that when you're creating your own, you also make it 18 by 18, and then you're basically going to be good to go.
I'm going to name this PNG. We're just going to add this as a placeholder.
However, of course, this particular texture will also be available for download as well. With that done, I guess let's jump in the game and see if it works.
Yeah, let's jump in the game and see if it works. If this works, that would be absolutely crazy. It obviously doesn't work. ID, where? Ah, I didn't finish my item settings, of course. Because I didn't actually add an item. Yet. Now we don't have any errors. Good. Great, even. Actually, perfect. Maybe we can even still add a potion. I don't know if that's difficult or not. He did it in less than 5 minutes. Even though he did this in less than 8 minutes. So, doesn't mean all too much. If he's fast, I'm not as fast. Right, so I can just give myself give myself the cologne effect infinite. Hey, it did work. What effect color does it have? It's not all too bad of a... Do potions all have that same type of texture? They do. So this is... There's actually only one potion texture. Which is extremely crazy. But I need to find a better color for this status effect. So the color is given in the clone effect here, right? No. No, yes, it is the color. No, it's in the mod item. No, it's in the mod effects. There it is. There is the color. So I need to find out what is the color. In what value are colors given? Minecraft potion color effect colors. Ah, it's hexadecimal. I don't know. Probably, potentially. You weren't here again. When I will stream again on Monday, either during the day, which is more unlikely, but most likely I will stream from tomorrow to Monday, so past midnight. Or maybe I'll start the stream after midnight and just stream for like an hour or two. Then I will most likely play Minecraft if the server is running. If not, I will write in advance. So yeah, now I'm just choosing a color for a cologne. Right, so basically I added a perfume. In the book, the perfume is described to be absolutely bad. It smells like rotten flesh and slime. So what would be the optimal color? Now military is currently pretty ass. We just gave back material the entire week and were inspected doing random ass stuff. So pretty boring. Also I slept for like 3 hours on Thursday to Friday. Brown. Do I have a potion that already is brown? Not really, that would actually be pretty good. A hex color picker, yay. Can I make brown? I could make the potion. Wait, actually, I have the PDF where the potion is mentioned. Right? I do have that file. It was in book. Was it still book 1 or book 2? Sorry, I have to look at this real quick. It was added. It was mentioned in book 1 on page 168. So if we look at this real quick, it is purple. It has like this shade. No, it's a bit more reddish. Why is it lagging? Oh, it's not slidable, it's you have to. Ew. It's a certain specific book. Yes. Actually, I think it's, yeah, it's like this color. It's exactly this color. This is the color. So I need to have the hex and add that to here. So it's not with a hash. Why does it not like that? What? How did I write the color beforehand? Does it have to be 0x? Ah, yeah, that's probably it. I think that's the way it works. I don't know. I think that's how it works. So this should be the right color. Now let me run this. Wait, I don't want to really reveal it yet. I reveal it after, or maybe I should. It's, wait, oh, how is it called? Diary of this. It's this series of books. They're, yeah, like almost 10 years old. So I was like maybe 12 when I read them. There is no image of the first one. This is the first book. Some crazy OG books, not gonna lie. And the dude writing them, they're officially written, like the language that they're written in originally is French. But I found a zip file online where somebody made all of them in, where somebody added PDFs of every single book in the official English translation. This is a pretty good effect color, I think. Yeah, I really like this one. It's not bad. It resembles the potion color, the thingy color pretty well. Obviously we have to add a potion as well. The books are pretty fire, not gonna lie. I don't know if it's maybe too dark. But I think it's, I don't know if it's taking the middle color or like a brighter color, like the brightest color as the potion color, because here the water, or like one of these, I think the fire resistance potion, the color that is given is like the lightest pixel here. If we drink a fire resistance potion, our particles are extremely bright. So yeah, that should work. It should check out. It's maybe I'll have to make it a slight bit brighter. It now looks like a regen potion, but it's going to be a bit darker. Basically, I've added a luck potion. However, I have no idea how much luck it actually gives. Also, it looks like a negative effect, even though it is actually a pretty good effect, because it's going to change how loot tables work now. Which I broke my freaking crafting table, bruh. Where even is a crafting table? Doesn't even exist. Functional blocks. Shouldn't the crafting table be like the first functional block there is? They're infested, they're not functional, what the hell? Right, why is this functional? These are all not really functional blocks, they're just blocks. Like, what about a skull is functional? Don't really get this. Infested deep slate, didn't even know that existed. Well, whatever. Also, we have this shit. I don't even know what version we're running. .21.9. It's like one of the, is 22 already out even? I don't even know. Anyway, the potion, the effect is effectively added. The texture just needs to be changed to an 18 by 18 texture with I don't know what on it. It smells like fermented slime. Ah yeah, that's the thing that I found so weird. Fermented slime doesn't make any sense, because in the book all the items that are being fermented are basically crafted together with a slime ball. So that would just be a slime ball crafted together with another slime ball makes for slimier slime or something. The freaking mace. I don't know, I've never used a mace before. And there's only like freaking cows here, and I'm playing on... I don't know what I'm even playing on. So that cow got pretty cooked. Just like the recipes I've unlocked. Why is it... Also it's lagging like crazy. I mean, it's running pretty well. Infinite VSync, so there's no VSync. Well, whatever. No, but I'm soon going to add a dirt stew. And a gravel sandwich. And a coarse dirt soup. No, it's I think it's dirt soup, coarse dirt, stew, and gravel sandwich. So all the 3 stages Yeah, they're freaking coarse dirt stew, I think. Wait, I have it in my list of all the items that I've already read about. Yeah, no, no, it's grass stew, mud soup, coarse dirt stew, and gravel sandwich. What I'll also have to add is cooked spider legs. However, the problem is the only spider items that currently exist are spider eyes and no spider legs, so I don't really know how the hell to even do that. Because how can you cook a spider leg if there is no spider legs? So somehow I have to add spider legs, and I don't know if I can edit already existing loot tables of an already existing mob. And if yes, I'll have to try to do that. I don't know if that is even possible. Let's go. Actually, I will most likely end the stream here, because why do I keep breaking that crafting table? That just needs to be there. Right, so I have this cologne effect forever now. I'll remove the effect. No, I'll actually not remove the effect, but I'll add a potion for this effect. And basically we'll make a luck potion, but a luck potion, I don't want to make it an actual drinkable potion. I want it to only work with a splash. Splash or lingering. I don't want it to be drinkable because it makes no sense. You can't drink perfume. But hey, whatever. Right, so I'll end the stream and then I'll check Discord. Yeah, so thanks everyone for having watched the stream. I should really stream some regular Minecraft gameplay. Hopefully tomorrow, or well, Monday. Also, this is really funny. I think if you download IntelliJ and the Minecraft modding template, I think you can literally just play Minecraft. It's just you're in this virtual Minecraft fabric installation that has none of your regular worlds. But I can play on single player worlds. But I don't know if I can even join. Maybe I can join, like... Can I join Hypixel? I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't even know if that's an official server IP of Hypixel. But you can literally just play Minecraft on survival on an IntelliJ installation, which is pretty funny. Well, anyways. With this, I will commit on the... Oh, where is that? On mod items, I'll have to somehow re-add this currently unfinished line. No, actually I'll not add it, I'll just rewrite it the next time. And yeah, it's the attributes, close that, the rest we'll just leave open for now. Right, so now without no, it's written two L's and no AY, it's just IntelliJ. Well, whatever, who cares? I shall skedaddle out of here after I've made a commit real quick. The cologne effect. We'll add all changes, commit and push. Huh? Yeah, that works. Let's go, save all that, close. Yep. Great. So, yeah, my gloves broke. No, it's not Intelli. It does have a J, but not an AY. It's just the letter J. And yeah, no, I broke my gloves. Literally, I tried to put them on before the stream, and it just literally ripped apart. Yeah, I don't even know if it has two L's. I might be stupid. No, it does have two L's. I'm not stupid. Let's go. Well, shall skedaddle out, and we will hear from. No, you will hear from me. And see my hands, lol. In these are the biggest gloves. It's, I don't know if it's XL or double XL, but it's like, they're pretty big. They're even pretty big for my hands. I mean, they're definitely not too small. It's just, I've been wearing them for like 2 months now. And either they just, I don't know, started to decompose, which doesn't make sense. It's fully synthetic material that shouldn't decompose in less than 100 years or so. But maybe they're just they are single-use gloves anyways, so I was actually meant to throw them away after every stream, but I used them like 20 times. I don't know. Army gloves. But the problem is I have work gloves and I have fighting gloves. The work gloves are full of rust and the fighting gloves are rusting. So, not really great. And then there's like the special gloves that some bought, especially for like driving and every day just having them on their hands. But they're already brown from factory, or like a very brownish green, so I don't know. Well, the gloves have like a little ring and a clip at the end, so you can clip the two gloves together. And that is steel, but it's, well, it's painted. There is a layer of paint on there, but that layer of paint just vanished. Thank you very much. I have already drank half a bottle. I already did. Okay, I will. Great. Well, anyways, I'll just get some new gloves for tomorrow or something. If I don't forget, which I will definitely do. Yeah, I don't know. No, for the clips still makes sense. It doesn't break as easily, but I've never used those clips, first of all, and second of all, problem is you sweat in these gloves like absolute hell, because they're rubber gloves. They're pretty thick, and they do not let any air in or out. And we use them mostly during summer. Right now we're barely using them because we're not shooting that much anymore, and we only use them for shooting. But when we used them, we were just sweating after like 2 seconds, and then the gloves would just get wet. And if the gloves are wet and you then put them back in the little compartment on the side of our belt that is then immediately closed, then it's just wet in there and they're rusting. I don't know, it's stupid. Yeah, no, it definitely is. Mostly my function. I should have chose something that is not as physical as this is. At least I'm not doing any guard for the next 5 weeks, I think. Or at least not the routine, regular types of guard that we do at our two main standpoints. Maybe I will do guard, but I think the next week, or like the over next week on Thursday starting, I think, and then for like an entire week we'll be helping another military section with some sort of an exercise. I don't know. At least that's how I understood it, which doesn't make any sense, because at this point in time, every single military, every single place, like every single military school basically that has new soldiers is either finishing or they're changing places or just changing their programs up. I don't know. I don't really know why they'd be doing an exercise right now, but maybe that's some company that is neither changing their places nor what they're really doing, so we're just helping somewhere. I don't know. No, actually I have not, and we have luckily also not. The only thing that happened is that somehow the battle override switch in one of the tanks has been activated once. Or well, it has been uncovered once, and it would have been possible to flip it. I don't know if anyone did flip it. But there's like a little security thing on there. And if you want to open the cap above the switch, you have to take that security off. And you can't put that back on. And there was the security missing on one of these switches. So somebody either accidentally or on purpose took the security off. Which we only noticed when we gave the tanks back. So there was a little back and forth trying to find out who the hell that was. Apparently it was no one, but I don't know, it must have been someone. But yeah, I should break a tank. At least that might get me out of the military. I was in fact never even on the seat of that tank. I don't think I was ever really in that tank at all. I only once cleaned it. But that was pretty much everything. But for some reason all of our tanks are leaking oil. One of them has either leaked or completely evaporated, like multiple liters of coolant. Most tanks are also leaking diesel, and not from the tank, but from the freaking engine, like somewhere in the engine compartment. So on all of our tanks there was just a mixture of diesel and engine oil inside of the tank. I don't know. We've had to refill. When we gave the tanks back on Thursday, 2 of the 6 tanks that our company gave back, well, in total it's technically like 10 vehicles, 10 armored vehicles, but there's only 6 of this type. No, it's actually 11 armored vehicles, but 6 of this type. And of these 6, 2 or 3 were missing at least 2 liters of oil. I refilled one and I had to add a liter of oil to even get the dipstick to show minimum. And then I added another one for good measure. And I could have probably added another 2. And would have not been on the maximum. And I think the other dude had to add like 3 or 4 bottles, which are all 1 liter bottles, until he was even at the minimum, which is a bit crazy. And you could literally look inside of, like, you could literally look below the engine, and it was just, there was just like a lake, a black lake of fluids. I don't know how that even happens. We drove like 100 kilometers since we last checked the oil levels, and they were fine. And then we drove like 100 kilometers and boom, no oil. But yeah, BMW specialists would not sound all too bad. They do drink quite a lot. They have like, I think the total tank volume is like 200 liters, and you can drive about 400 kilometers on roads with them. So they drink half a liter per kilometer. So that's 50 liters per 100 kilometers, which is quite a lot. Which company? I mean, the military pays for the fuel. I don't know who pays the fuel for the military, but they're probably not that, it's probably not expensive, that expensive for them. I don't know though. No, if I had to pay for my freaking fuel, I'd probably be walking, because that is expensive as hell. Like, my motorcycle uses like about 15 times less fuel with the same on the same, if I were driving the same as with the tanks. Yeah, it is crazy. That's why I found it so crazy that the gas station that we had on, like, during the first 12 weeks before I got moved to another location, the fuel pump said they had just a price of 1 per liter. But our current ones don't even have a price, like a counter anymore. They just tell you how many liters, because nobody's paying with, you can't pay with money there anyways. You can only use the station if you have a special military card. The legendary orange rocket I have not used in weeks, and it was in service like about 2 months ago, I think, and since then I've only ridden it like once or maybe twice. It's working pretty well. I mean, I haven't had any issues. So yeah, no, I really didn't sleep all too much on Thursday, and yesterday I slept like 10 hours tonight. So I didn't quite compensate for my 3 hours just yet. So I should probably go to bed. What's manual? Ah, no, it's not that new. Manual bikes only started to come out when I already got mine. And I don't think KTM even has any manual bikes, any auto bikes yet. To be honest, their bikes, even though many say they're not reliable, mine, for example, has been perfectly reliable for the 5,000 or so kilometers I've put on it. It's not a lot. It's really not a lot. Sadly, I don't get to drive it very much. I will hopefully be able to do so in the 5 months that I have nothing to do after military. Manual is peak. However, I do have quick shift, which they gifted me, which usually costs 300 bucks. They gave it to me for free. Obviously for them it probably costs nothing. It's just a software activation code. It's already built into the bike. I think that is stupid. It's just literally a code you have to type into the bike. No, 5k is not a lot. Anyways, my quick shift, many bikes, even some bigger bikes, do not have a both-way quick shift option. So you can only, usually it's only upshift, I think. I'm not sure though. But I can up and downshift without using the clutch. And these shifts are crispy as hell. They work by it notices that there's a switch on the clutch lever. So if I pull the clutch past a certain point, the bike notices. And if I do not, it also notices, obviously. So if I and there is a sensor on the shift, on the shift lever. So if I shift without pulling the clutch at the same time, for upshifting, the engine just stops, just ignition cuts for a few milliseconds, and then it just changes the gears. Like if you were to shift without using your clutch in a bike, usually that would be pretty crunchy and probably almost throw you off. Or in certain situations it probably would. but there it just stops igniting. Basically the engine just stops, yeah. But that allows for some pretty cool shit, because I don't know if they stop injection as well. I mean, it would make sense, they probably do. But even though it does potentially stop injecting fuel, it ignition cuts very like fully, so that the RPMs lower enough so the next gear goes in. And if you drive, if the engine is hot enough and you ride under a low load and in a relatively high gear, so the engine is basically relatively near to idle and not under heavy load, so it runs, yeah, it basically, you don't have to turn the gas up very much. You don't have to open it up very much. And light to medium loads on the engine and like relatively low RPMs, and then you drastically give it like full everything, give it the beans and upshift, you can get the thing to pop. I mean, it does sound pretty crispy. Now I don't, it's cool, it's freaking cool. I feel like I'm freaking racing driver. Because the shifts, if you have enough load under the engine while shifting, they go in extremely smoothly. Like, it's crazy, it's like you're driving an auto. But if you do let the engine run under low loads and low RPMs and then open it up and then quick shift it, because I think it's probably running slightly rich potentially under the on lower RPMs, I don't know. But when you then upshift it with the quick shifter, it does sometimes shoot flames. I don't know if it actually shoots flames or if it's just inside of the exhaust. I don't know if you see it in the back, but it's so freaking cool. When we went karting once, we then went home to Zaubermoos, or aka Technology. And we stopped at a gas station to get some meat to grill, and then, because we were driving pretty chill, like not very fast, and it's just flat roads, so I was then I stopped at the gas station, parked the bike, we were buying our stuff for like 10 minutes. I got back on, and because the engine was still hot, when I drove out of the gas station, I just gave her like from first to like fourth, I quick shifted everything, like a crisp 3 gears up, and every single gear shift that thing popped a flame, and that was like the coolest shit I've ever done. I was sitting on my bike, I was screaming like a freaking autistic maniac, because that was like the coolest shit that I've ever done. I don't even know how the hell that happened, but it was pretty cool. If I do the exhaust, do you mean if I change it for another one? Yeah, I was giggling like if I had just, I don't know. It was like, it was crazy. I've never been able to replicate 3 times in a row I've managed to sometimes control it pretty well, to do it like a few times in short distances, but I always had to downshift and then, or upshift and then downshift and upshift in like weird sequences. I could install a new exhaust. There is actually an exhaust that does sound extremely good for it being a one cylinder. There is one that does sound pretty well, pretty nice. And I could also get like a chip tuning to get like another 10 horsepower out of that thing, potentially. I mean, some Austrian guy has like an older model, like a 2021 or something. And he chip tuned it to like 56 horsepower, and the original has like 40 something. 42, 43, I don't know how much the older ones had. So that's pretty crazy. Well, he also has another air filter and another exhaust, obviously. He's in fact not a painter. But still pretty crazy. Anyways, I should really stop this stream because I'm just yapping. And I should go to sleep, I think. So yeah. Just skedaddle out of here now. Yeah. And I'll be back